I started well aware a long time ago when a friend asked me if I would help, given my legal background, if I would help write up some paperwork to accept donations to raise money for some livestock in a very rural place here in Kenya. And I thought, well, of course I want to help to do that. And I got very inquisitive about the project, and I realized that the livestock were not surviving in this village because there was no reliable source of clean water. And I realized too that the rest of the community was struggling so significantly. And we talked through it, and we thought, well, you know, we can raise some money and replace these livestock, but that's not going to solve the problem for a long time. I said, hey, why don't we instead drill a water well for not just the livestock, but the entire community? And I talked my group of friends into shifting gears, and instead of raising funds for the goats and the cows, we decided to raise funds for a water well.
I met Sarah Evans back in 2010 January when she came to Kenya. That time she came with other team of girls coming to do a water system for a community in Kenya.
Lucky for me and for the organization, it was Mike that picked us up from the airport that day. And anybody who knows Mike understands just upon first meeting him that there's something about him and his smile and his spirit and his kindness that is special.
Yeah, I think somehow we got connected spiritually or whatever it is. There was that chemistry that came between us, and everything we planned, it was really working well.
On that entire trip, he was right by our side, and he and I got to talk a lot, and I learned so much.
It's like we had one passion. The passion of giving water and helping communities, it got into my system.
I started to learn on that first trip what I was already doing wrong and how my perspective needed to change to be able to truly honor these communities, and what more I needed to learn if I wanted to do anything like this again. And it was really Mike that helped me figure out that I could. And after that first drill and the magic that happened on that drill site.
And when we were drilling that water system, I saw the reaction of the beneficiaries of the water, the kids and the women, the appreciation that they were showing and they were giving.
On that first drill, I think my soul changed at the same time. Being able to meet the community that we were able to provide this basic resource to, and seeing their reaction to that. And then there was a little girl who was following me around on the drill site. We became really good friends, and when we finally could drink the water that was coming out of the borehole, I held her and she drank the water, and it felt amazing, and I could feel her joy and her relief. So I was having that soul-changing experience at the same time Mike was telling me, Sarah, we can keep doing these things.
When I was young, what we used to do, we just go to the river, scoop from the sand, get water, fill it in the container, take it home, and that's the best water we knew. Actually, we didn't even know we were supposed to boil the water, never put any treatment, and we were using it. You get sick, you think being sick, it's normal.
Part of life.
It's part of growing life, yes. That's one of the challenges that I've gone through. So when I found that Sarah was in clean water line, and myself growing in this country and knowing all the headache to get clean water, I said this is the right thing to do because the demand is so high. People are out there and they want water. And I said, why not? I can change what I've been doing to do this. And where we can, we help them to get clean water. Maji man, that's water man. That's what communities refer me even today. Because some of them, they don't know my name. They find it easy when they call me Maji Man, and I have taken that title and I'm so happy about it. To say, oh, the Maji Man is here and you know the system is going to work again. But the hardest part of this job is when we go to communities and I see they really need water, then that time we don't have enough funds to do that system. It touches you because you can see women and kids and everybody drinking dirty water. And sometimes you are frustrated because you can't help. The heart is there, you want to do it, but we keep on giving them promises that we'll do. And of course later, once we get funds, we go there and we give them their system. We give them clean water.
Yeah, once we're able to identify the right clean water solution and we build it and we do our community training, things start to change significantly. We have so many communities now where we have worked over the past 12 years that look like different places now. What's so cool about Willowware is the whole team cares so much about what is happening in each community, regardless of how many years have passed. And we were lucky enough to get to do a site visit on one of those first water systems. We piled out of the van and the community started to gather, and I saw this young woman. And I did a double or a triple take, and I thought, I know her. And I went back through all of my old photos, and I found her. And I looked at her again, and it was that same young woman. She was a little girl then, and now she is a young woman. And I approached her, and I said, I'm sure you don't remember me, but I showed her the picture. I said, look, this is the two of us. This was 10 years ago. And oh my gosh, and we hugged and we laughed. She's in secondary school now, which is not that common for girls in the rural parts where we work. And it was a really special moment for me and for Mike too. He was there, and he thought it was amazing.
When I'm in the field, what makes me happy is to see the appreciation that comes from people when they're accessing that water. You can see their glare in their faces, and you can see how open their spirits are. That appreciation, it really touches my heart and my soul.
If there is one thing I can tell people about this work and how important it is that water is the catalyst for all other development and advancements in any community. There are so many other causes that are so very important. None of them can be possible, none of them can succeed unless there's clean water first available in these areas. And being able to provide that really does provide a chance for any other development and initiative that anyone wants to have in these regions.
Water is not just water. The need is there. We've not even done even a fraction. Communities need water. Yeah. There is that drive. There is that drive to give water. To get to where we want our vision to be, we need support from our donors, and we also need not to lose our focus.
I think too, just having people share what we do and how we're different as an organization and talk about it and introduce us to other people who might be interested in helping or donating or supporting, because we have a lot of important work to do and we know that it works really, really well, and we need more of that support to get there.